Hello everyone, my name is Craig and welcome back to the channel, and this is a video review of the Elite 2.0 Tetrad, a pump action smart AR system blaster in the Elite 2.0 series. Yes, I bought a primary, not a pistol, but this basically functions like a pistol. Let's get into the review. No unboxing on this one because the unboxing included just a piece of cardboard that just went over this like this. So we'll start up at the front. There is no in-strike barrel lug. That tends to be a running theme in a lot of these blasters, but up front are 4 separate barrels. This is a single shot blaster, but it's 4-shot smart AR. And in my testing procedure before doing this review, the smart AR does actually work very well. I'll get more into that in the firing demo. Now you will simply front load like that, and capacity of this blaster is 4 shots. Getting that up top, we do have tactical rail up here, so tactic points on here. I put on, the only thing I have is the recon scope, and it looks a little silly with that, but you could put on a snazzy optic. Up here is a weird carry handle thing. I think this is supposed to be a sling point or something. That's a weird one to put it, so I don't get that. On here, there's a hole in the middle of here. I don't know if that's supposed to be a lanyard mount or what, but that's also a weird place to put a lanyard mount as well. Getting all the way to the back is the stock. This is a fixed in place, non-removable stock, non-adjustable. This is basically one big old piece of plastic. I wish this stock was just ever so slightly like 2 inches, probably a little bit more, maybe like 1.5. I'm a short dude, and this is pretty short for me. This feels like almost like an SMG type of thing, as opposed to like almost a shotgun / rifle type of thing, what this blaster is going for. So I'm not really liking the idea that this isn't adjustable. I wish this could like come out or something. It looks like that it should, but it doesn't. So yikes. Very weird proportion. If you're a bigger dude, you're gonna find this terribly uncomfortable, and just you're gonna feel like a giant with that. I'm a smaller dude, and this even feels tiny for me. But getting down to here, I don't know what the heck this is in here. They didn't have to leave that type of spacing. But getting down is a sling attachment point, if you want to put that. That's awfully thin, so I don't know. Getting down to the grip is actually very comfortable and well proportioned for the blaster and my hand. I do have tiny hands. I do have to say that each time, because people really like, I got giant hands, or your hands look fine. I do have tiny hands compared to the average person. This fits in very well. I do like the proportions of it to the blaster. With that, getting down onto the grip, it's also another sling attachment point. So yeah, getting to the trigger pull is pretty smooth and in line with other Elite 2.0 blasters on the market. Up front is the pump handle here. This is pump action and spring powered. To prime, you do that and you're ready to fire. The pump weight is a little bit harder than, I would say a little bit harder than most blasters on the market, but almost in line with it. There is actually a fairly decent velocity with this blaster. I do have the velocity recorded this time from another video. I don't have a chronograph, but this pump action, it's a very short stroke to do it. It feels a little bit uncomfortable. I'm not a fan of this pump action, but if I had to use pump action on like the Alpha Trooper, which I didn't like, this pump action handle, if I were to use pump action, this would be the proportion from this hand to this hand that I would like. Anything further forward than that, I don't like. I'm more of a top prime type of guy, so because I like my hands being secured whenever I'm doing that. So this is perfect length in here. Grip is absolutely very comfortable. It works. This blaster does not have slam fire. Unfortunately, I wish they could add that to it. This would have been a perfect platform for it, but it is not. It is, you'll have to prime it each time. You won't break the blaster if you try to do slam fire on it. That's pretty much the external overview of the Tetrad. Yeah, let's see it out on the firing range. First, firing some Nerf Elite darts from about 5 feet away, because that's the only target I have right now. Couple more elite darts. Venture 4 starts. Next up, some X-Shot full-length darts. This is the second time that's happened. X-Shot 3/4 length darts. White Amosting darts. I'll be firing some Screamer darts. Just 2 of these. And then lastly, some orange end strike darts. Yeah. Firing analysis and conclusion of the Nerf Elite 2.0 Tetrad. Well, for the firing demo, it actually didn't perform that bad, actually. However, especially with all ammo types, however, the old end strike darts shot at lower velocity due to some of them being crummy. I'd expect that out of it, but especially then we're shooting 5 feet, I don't expect that much variance from it, and we're not shooting across the room or something. And I unfortunately don't have a chronograph to chronograph all the ammo types, but it actually did shoot pretty well. But in my firing demo, I'd also noticed a couple other things which I'm going to mention here. Chrono data, I actually do have it, not from my own, but from... Sorry, I'm out of breath. Don't ask me what I was doing, but I was definitely doing something that required that much energy. Chrono data is about 63 to about 70 FPS with this. Probably lower end of 63 feet per second, upper end of about 72 FPS. It's shooting about in line with other Nerf Elite primaries on the market right now. 63 though is, I'd say, significant enough of a difference, but maybe not. I mean, maybe not noticeable, but I mean, if you look at the numbers, maybe, but it is shooting pretty much about the same. At least it's not like 40, 50 FPS. So performance is all right. Basically, where I have an issue with this is basically in everything. I also noticed that part of the way through is that the plastic on the priming handle is already starting to come undone. I don't know what caused this, but yeah, so we're back to flimsy plastic with Elite 2.0. Hasbro, what are you doing? There's my first complaint. Right now, instead of reinforcing this to really make it a great mechanical priming handle with a material that's much more durable, they just throw on this plastic thing, throw in a couple screws, and call it good. And plus, that is not a smooth pump action. I actually absolutely hate that. I mean, I love it for how close it is to my body. If I wanted pump action, this is about the distance that I would want it from hand to hand from that. But it's a very short stroke, but it feels very uncomfortable doing it. Yeah, actually, what I did mention about the firing was that occasionally it did shotgun fire, but I push that off towards user error mainly, so that's why I'm not mentioning it that much. If I do more testing with this blaster and I find that's a common issue, I might have to do a re-review and do that. But back to the build quality of the plastic, mainly also this stock. This is a fixed in place non-adjustable stock, when it looks like that this totally could have had a folding stock. You made something like this Spectre with a crappy folding stock. I don't care if this was crappy or not. Please make it fold. Yes, this does not look good, unfortunately. And also the length of this stock is just not. So we're cutting corners on plastic and stuff, and the build quality in use of the plastic and stuff. So the other things to complain about, obviously, the length of the stock. I'm a small dude, and this is actually pretty small for me. As a stock, I'd want something a bit larger. At least they got the grip down all right. The pump action just isn't that great. I love that it could be accessorized with only one tack rail, but that's all right. What I think really would have made this package that much better is if the addition of Slamfire. Yes, it's only 4 rounds, but I've seen Slamfire in 4 rounds before. I believe there's a couple blasters on the market that have Slamfire like that. I think this is a tiny good package that you can go really fast with the pump handle, with it being this close. So you could do a powerful Slamfire with this blaster. Right, I'm not going to force it to do Slamfire, but if I can do pump action that much, I could probably do Slamfire really well. I think that would have been a great addition, because this is going for almost like the shock. This is almost going for the shotgun-esque feel. Almost like a KSG, but without the big like this, like a bull pump shotgun, but it's pump action instead. There's something very powerful like that, this type of package with that. And I think that with the addition of Slamfire, that really would have added to the profile of this. So there's a lot of things. Again, there's just, I don't know what this is. So there's again, more unnecessary plastic that doesn't need to be, or things that could have had so much more potential. So that's really all of my complaints really about the Tetrad. Overall, there's really no objective reason to avoid it, except for it's really, as I've been saying seeing a lot in comments of other reviews, it's an oversized quad rod, and it really is pretty much that. But I can kind of see why they would want it in this form factor, because Nerf has done that before. Hasbro has done 4-shot big old rifle things like that, and you could call even that an oversized quad rod. But I think something like this if they made it a better proportions and probably added in Slamfire, it would have been a much better blaster for that. So I don't know really where I got to stand on this. If I have to take an opinion on it, it's gonna be meh. I can't go positive or negative on this. It has just as many positives as it does negatives with it. If you've watched this far into the video, I'm sorry about my erratic nature really with this conclusion, but that really happens a lot when I have blasters that I'm on the fence about, like no positive, no negatives. It's really easy to be like, okay, I really like this blaster, and here we go, or I really dislike the blaster, here we go. I'm basically laying out all my thoughts both ways, and some of the things are off topic and stuff, or not really in a coherent order because of this. So that's really my thoughts on that. So I can't really go either way on my opinion. Now, as far as a purchase recommendation, I would recommend this really to anybody. I don't see this why someone would pick up a Tetrad over, again, like a Quadroct or something. Definitely don't get a Prospect if you want Elite 2.0. There's better options. I would almost downgrade one less shot for something like a Trio that's more reliable than the Prospect. And then definitely don't even go Tetrad. If you want a higher capacity, slimmer profile, go for something like a Trio or even like a Trailblazer or something. But if you want a primary worthy one, you can get 6 shots in with the Commander and something that is a little bit of a wider package than this, a little bit bigger package and more customizable, but it's way better than that, and it actually has Slamfire. So that's my thoughts on the Elite 2.0 Tetrad. I don't think that I really did a great job on doing a conclusion on that one. I was all over the place on that, and I apologize for that. My thoughts are quite scrambled right now. I've done like 3 reviews this week. It's been a long week at work and stuff, so I'm all over the place. But hopefully I've given out enough information to help you make an educated purchase decision on this blaster. Now I gotta encourage you all to like the video and subscribe. Right, if we can reach 100 subscribers, I will do our first Q&A with that. Hopefully we have enough participation for that to really work. If not, I'll think of some other milestone reward for that. So I encourage you all to do that, and my name is Greg, and I'll see you guys in the next one.